Today we are going to be unboxing our brand new Bambu Lab P2S combo with the AMS 2 Pro system. Uh, I ordered this uh, before the end of the year. Today is January 9th. It said it was supposed to, when I ordered it, it said it was back ordered until January 14th, and it shipped at the beginning of this week, and it took about a week to get here. Came from California, and I am East Coast, so it was delivered by FedEx. So far, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. Box isn't beat up or anything. The delivery driver did leave it sitting upside down, so fingers crossed that nothing is broken. But we'll find out. Um, this is my first Bambu. As you can see, I've got that Ender 3, and I've got another one over here, which I'm sure you've seen in my other videos, my lightly modified Ender 3 Pro. So I'm really excited to finally get a big boy printer, and I know it's not an H2S or anything like that, but I still think this is going to be a massive upgrade for me. I know it's going to be a massive upgrade for me over the Ender. So I've been printing on that Ender for the better part of 6 years or more. So let's get right into it here, and let's go ahead and get this guy opened up. Check it out. And this is literally an unboxing. I have not even cut the tape open or anything on this yet. So you are genuinely along for the adventure on this with me. More than anything, I am really just hoping that nothing is broken, damaged, or anything of that nature. So we'll get into it. Okay, so we've got our Bambu Lab P2S AMS combo quick start guide. We'll get into that here in a minute, but we're just going to get everything out of the box here first, and then we will go from there. All right, so looks like this is a little box of tools, I suppose. Yep, so we've got, so in our little box of tools, we've got an extra hot end sock. We've got a nozzle cleaning needle. I don't know what's in this little baggie just yet. Got lubricant grease, lubricant oil, some extra screws. Oh, these are components for the scraper to print. And then you've got your Allen keys. Okay. And a little rubber something or another, which I'm sure something will tell me what that is and what it's for. All right. Next up, we've got, so there is, on this packing material, there's a QR code which says scan the QR code for detailed unboxing guide. Also says please carefully read the quick start guide for detailed unboxing and setup steps. So I'm not one of those I don't read directions kind of guys. I want this thing to get set up and be ready to go. So I am, in fact, going to read the directions. Um, so I'm going to look at that right now really quick before I go too much further. Let's see. We've just got some foam here. Lift up by the bag. Okay. But I just can't help myself. I have to get this thing out of the box and see it. It is interesting that they tell you to lift it by the bag. So let's hope I don't drop this. Okay. And that's it. There's nothing else in the box here, just the remaining packing material. Now I do know that they tell you to keep the box, so we are going to do that. So far, so good, though. Nothing looks broken. The glass is not shattered, which I've seen enough posts about them showing up with broken doors. So I think so far we're off to a good start. So I'm going to pause here. I'm going to read through this quick start guide, and then we're going to come back and we'll start getting this thing set up, and hopefully we'll have a print running here before too long. So I opened up the little baggie here with the quick start guide. So we got some cool little stickers. We got a little card to get free premium models. We've got the Bambu Lab P2S 3D printer disclaimer and safety guidelines. And then we've got the quick start guide, which they give in a couple different languages. So I did go ahead and read through this quick start guide briefly. So we're going to go through and do each step of this live, and hopefully all goes well. So the first thing we're going to do is move everything out of the way, because this is where the printer is going to live. Okay, so looking through the steps here, first thing is take it out of the box. We already did that. It says to remove the moisture-proof bag and all adhesive tapes from the top, front, and bottom of the printer. Then carefully lift off the top glass cover and set it aside. Okay, so let's see if we can get this bag off of here. Which I assume we'll need to rip, tear, and cut. It doesn't look like it opens, which makes sense because it wouldn't be very moisture proof if it did. Remember, kids, always be careful when using sharp objects. Cut towards yourself in a jerking motion. Don't listen to me. All right, let's get this thing out of here. Okay, getting you undressed. Now, I don't know if any of you have done a lot of research on this thing. I know I certainly have, because I have wanted a Bambu printer for a long time. Okay, let's go ahead and pull all of our tape off of here. Oh, this might be the hardest part. There we go. Pull that tape. I will say, they really packaged this very well. I would hope so. It's obviously a sensitive thing, and being shipped God knows how many thousands of miles across oceans and everything else. So remove top plate and set aside. Next step is take out the accessory box and remove all the top foam. Open the front door and remove the protective bag from it. Then use the longer H2.0 Allen key from the toolbox to remove the 2 screws marked in red. And they do give you a nice little diagram here. So let me get the rest of this tape off. And we've got some tape on the bottom as well. Let's see, does that go all the way under? No. No, it does not. I would also like to apologize to anyone listening to all of this because I've been sick for a week and I've got a little bit of a stuffy nose. But I'm not going to let that stop me. And boy, let me tell you, I don't know if I've been this excited about something in quite a long time, but I am very excited to finally have gotten a Bambu printer. I know some people have 30 of them in a print farm. They've got the H2S, whatever else. But for me, this is a big deal. And I'm really excited for the content that we're going to be able to make with this as well. So we open the door and remove the bag. There we go. Okay, open door, remove bag. Now we take out the accessory. Take out the accessory box and remove all the top foam. Okay, let's do that. Remove top foam, and we're going to keep all of this other than the plastic bags, because if this does ever need to be sent back, I would certainly like to be able to box it up, because I think that would make my life a lot easier. I will say, this is a massive box. This whole thing weighs, I don't even know, probably 50 pounds. I was actually kind of shocked at the overall weight when I went to pick the box up. Again, coming from an ender, that thing weighs like 5 pounds. So this is a hefty unit for sure. Remove all top foam. The AMS unit is held in place by a bunch of these foam blocks, and it is. Those are a snug fit. But again, that's fantastic because I don't want this thing sliding all around. So let's see if we can get this out. Oh boy, what's keeping this in here? just the foam? Can't be. Boy, that's really in there. Well, they say just slide the AMS out, but, well, it just does not want to budge. I mean, it is really stuck in there. Oh, because I skipped a step. You have to use the Allen key to remove the bolts that are holding it in. See, this is why you read the instructions, guys. Whoops. Let's try this again. Boy, I am sure glad I refrained from my usual method of just yank on it harder. I will say, though, this is a fantastic packaging system that they have developed for this, because that thing is not moving. Okay, there's one screw. There's two screws. They do say I've got a couple of screws loose. Hey, there we go. Boy almighty, what a... I'm so silly. Okay. There is our AMS unit. It's actually very light. Okay, lift out the AMS2 Pro and remove the foam protection around the AMS sides. So we'll take that out. Yeet. We'll take this one out. Maybe. There we go. Yeet. But in red text, it says, leave the foam around the heat bed in place for now. You'll remove it in a later step. Very good. On to the next step. Using the H2.0 Allen key to remove the 3 screws marked in red. Then take out the transport fixture. Yep, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's get those out of here. And just so you guys can see what I'm talking about, let me get you off of here. So down in here, there is 1, 2, 3, and this plastic transport fixture. Okay, so let's take those out. One, 2, 3. A 3. How many screws does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? 3, apparently. Okay, remove transport fixture. And again, we're just going to put all this right in the box to save in case we ever need it. Beautiful. Use the H2.0 Allen key to remove the screw marked in red to unlock the heat bed. Oh, one more back there. Okay. Yeah, they really have this thing locked down. No joke. This one is a little tricky to get to because you're right in between these two pieces on the back. Okay, there we go. Pull down the red plastic protectors at the top of both left and right Z-axis lead screws. Open and remove them. During this operation, you may notice the Z-axis lead screws moving. This behavior is expected and does not indicate a problem. So let's see here. Pull down and open. Pull down. Pull down and open. Okay. Cut and remove all zip ties, then place the glass top cover onto the printer. Grab our little flush cutters here. So there is 1, 2, and then 1 on the print head. Can I get this one off? There we go. Those we will not save. Thank you. Okay. Place the top glass back on. All right, let's put the top glass back on, which I suppose we can probably remove from this bag now as well. And just like everything else, packed and sealed very well. And that is trash, garbage, if you will. And place the top glass back on. Boy, that is a beautiful printer, I must say. Let's give this guy a little scooch back here. Okay. Now, remove the tape and gently pull the flexible cable out about 50 millimeters. Gently, ever so gently removing the tape. Pull cable about 50 millimeters. Sure, let's go with that. That looks like 50 millimeters to me. Take the screen from the accessory box and orient it as pictured. Then press the terminals on both sides of the flexible cable and insert it into the screen. Okay, here is our display. Gently pull this open. Their hardware design, their material choice. I mean, I know it's plastic, but it just looks nice. It really does, I have to say. I'm impressed. As an overall opinion of this experience so far, I'm impressed. Okay. Now, when we're looking at this, these notches, you slide the screen to the left to lock it. So when you're looking at the screen from the front, you want those notches to be pointing to the left, which you're on my front camera, so them might be backwards. Might look like we're going right, but it's left. So we take our cable here. And we're going to gently insert this. And there we go. I do believe that is inserted. And then you push the ribbon cable back in, push the screen flush, and slide it to the left to click. And just like that, you have a screen. Okay. On to the next. Remove the desiccant packaging material. Remove the foam from inside the AMS2 Pro. Remove the tape from the back of the AMS2 Pro and take out the desiccant packs. Then remove the outer plastic packaging. Install 2 desiccant packs in each side of the empty compartment. So let's take a look at that. So we're going to make some room here. Bear with me a moment. All right, let's take a look at this guy. Ooh, that is satisfying. I don't know if you can hear that. Let me see if I can catch that. Oh, that's so good. Anyone who does not enjoy pulling the protective plastic off of electronics is a psychopath. So good. Okay. Now we're going to open this bad boy up. We're going to remove tape and the outer package of the desiccant. Remove the foam from inside the AMS 2 Pro. Remove the tape. Take out the desiccant. And then I guess you just stick these packets and they just kind of live back here. Which that is on my list. I need to get some PET G because it is indeed on my list to print desiccant holders for this. Seems like one of the first mods people typically do. Mod. Okay. Place the AMS 2 Pro on top of the printer. Release the PTFE tube taped to the back of the printer and insert its free end into the PTFE tube PTFE tube coupler on the printer. Select the longest PTFE tube in the accessory box, insert it into the AMS 2 Pro's filament outlet and either PTFE tube coupler on the filament buffer. Okay. So we're going to close this guy. We're going to set this right up top here. Here, I'm going to bring you along with me for this one. Okay. So, on the back here, we've got this PTFE tube, which is taped to the back of the printer. So, get rid of that. And in our accessory box, I think we've got just a couple more things here. So we've got some cables. We've got a spool holder. And we've got a couple pieces of PTFE. Let me hang you back up and we'll keep going. Okay, so opening our bag of PTFE tubes. These are taped together. I believe we have a long and a short PTFE tube. So let's get these out. Oh, we have 3 PTFE tubes. So let's take a look here. Put these all together. So one little shorty guy right there, and then one medium and one long. So we'll take our longest PTFE tube, if I'm not mistaken. Select the longest PTFE tube in the accessory box, insert it into the AMS 2 Pro's filament outlet, and either PTFE tube coupler on the filament buffer. So on the back here, we have the outlet. So that just presses right into there. And we'll go into the buffer, which has 2 PTFE couplers. Okay. take out the Bambu bus cable 6-pin from the accessory box and plug each end into either 6-pin ports on the filament buffer and the AMS 2 Pro. So that will be this guy. And this is what our 6-pin cable looks like. And it is identical on either end. So it does not matter which end goes where. On the filament buffer, we'll go into the left side slot. Sorry, on the AMS unit, we'll go left side. And on the filament buffer, we'll go left side. If I can get it to plug in. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. Install the spool holder assembly. Take the spool holder and PTFE tube holder from the accessory box. Slide the spool holder to the right into the base plate until you hear a click. So let's open this up. And this is our power cable for the printer. Okay. Yeet. So okay. So this just has a hole in it, and this is the PTFE tube holder. So this just pushes in until it clicks. Align the PTFE tube holder with the slot on the spool holder as pictured, and insert it vertically until you hear a click. Oh, I suppose I was supposed to put the spool holder onto the unit, onto the printer itself first, but here we go. There we go. Well, that all looks correct anyway. The spool holder base plate is pre-installed in the recommended position. 2 additional positions, marked in yellow in the image, are also available. You can adjust the base plate and PTFE tube length as needed. Okay, on to the next step. If your printer is connected to the AMS 2 Pro, you can load filament from an external spool using the extra PTFE coupler on the filament buffer. Take the shortest PTFE tube, connect one end to the spool holder and the other to the unused coupler on the filament buffer. Insert the filament into the tube as shown and push it until it reaches the extruder and stops. So we'll take our little shorty guy here. We'll run that into the second connector on the buffer. And then that goes right into this little holder here. So that is how we use the external spool. So from my understanding, the main purpose for the external spool is going to be for flexible materials like a softer TPU, like an 85A or a 92A TPU. Now, there are some TPUs that Bambu makes specifically for the AMS unit, but they're not as flexible from my understanding. They're not as soft of a Shore hardness rating. So you can still get, you can still get something to run in the AMS if you want to for TPU, but I think for me, if I'm printing TPU, I probably want a soft TPU because that's why I'm printing TPU. I want to make something soft. So I do think I'll end up using the external spool holder. Next steps. Before powering on, ensure the voltage label near the power socket matches your region. Then connect the power cord and switch on the power. Okay, we're getting close here, guys. Will say you do end up with an extra PTFE tube, which is an extra one of the long ones. So that's nice. I suppose that is just a spare part. So let's take a look here. I think at this point we are ready to, oh, you know what? Good golly. I almost missed a step. On the back here, we've got to insert our PTFE tube from our buffer into the printer itself. That would probably be helpful. Okay, there we go. So I think we're going to go onto the table now. I'm sick of bending over, and we're about ready to power this thing on. Now, one thing I do need to check here still. Let's not drop this. About that. One thing I do need to check here still is our power. So back here, where is this switch? There does not appear to be a switch. Let's see. There is a sticker here, but there's no switch. So I'm assuming that is just interesting. Let's look at this closer. Boy, I need some light. Let's look. 100 volt to 120 volt. Okay. Well, we are in the United States, so that's correct. That's 120 bald eagles, just in case anyone was wondering. That's the technical conversion for that electrical rating. Let's go ahead. Okay. So we have indeed verified that our voltage is correct because we live in America. I plan to do something a bit more permanent as far as our whole setup here, really. Okay, so now at this point, we have to bind the printer to our handy app and or to the Bambu Studio on your computer. I have not yet installed it on my computer, but I do have it on my phone. So after this, it pretty much tells you just to load up some filament, and then you go in and you pick your first model. Let's see here. The one thing I'm curious about is Okay. So initial calibration. I know that it has to go through a whole initial calibration setup. So on here it says we scan the QR code to download the Bambu Handy app. Follow the instructions on screen until a QR code appears. Scan the QR code on Bambu Handy to bind the printer to your Bambu Lab account. And then follow the instructions on the screen to complete the initial calibration. It's normal to have vibration and noise during the process. Do not remove foam under the heat bed until calibration is complete. So, let's see. So at this point, does that stay there? Oh, it doesn't tell you about this. I was like, what is that? Inside the printer, taped on the one side, is a giant desiccant bag. I think that seems to be just for the shipping. The AMS unit comes with its own little bags of desiccant, so I think we can probably trash this. I guess it feels like it definitely absorbed some moisture, so we'll probably just chuck that. And now, well, I think now we just need to turn this thing on and go through our calibrations. Now, with that said, I'm going to cut the video here. I'm going to show you the calibrations, but I have the Handy app on this phone. So I'm going to switch to my other phone to record the rest of this as we go through so that I can use this phone for the Handy app. So I'll be right back. Okay. Wow, that was very loud. So let's go ahead and let's see here. So we're going to do English. Please select your region, which is North America. And this is the printer performing all of its first automatic calibrations. Once all of this is complete, it's ready to go. After this, I printed my first benchy.